What's up guys, Jack here. Happy New Year first off. Today we're doing a bit of a different video actually. We are going to be covering the best characters in Star Wars. We will be going in chronological order, and if you disagree with my list, I don't care. First off, we are going to be starting off with the Phantom Menace, and the best character in this movie is Qui-Gon Jinn. Personally, I think he's the best character because he has the most wisdom. He talked the council into letting Anakin join the Jedi Order, which ended up leading off the rest of the franchise as we know it. Also, he was the coolest. He also fought Darth Maul. Unfortunately, he died, and I really wish we would have gotten to see more of his character. Also, Liam Neeson was the only person who wanted to voice Qui-Gon, and he did so in the Clone Wars as well as the movie. Next up on the list, we have Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, which is my personal favorite movie. And I know it's very controversial, but it is, so what. Anyway, this character is Obi-Wan Kenobi. First off, I have to give props to the guy because he put up with Anakin for the entire film. And second off, he's a great character. Also, you know, Space Jesus, so there's that. Thirdly, he's so fun in the movie, and the comical bits that he has are just, they carry him throughout the film. Next up, we have Sheev Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith. I think he's the best character simply because he is the Senate, first off. Also, he just absolutely wiped the floor with like 3 Jedi Masters. Unfortunately, they were cool Jedi Masters, but still, just his sheer power. Also, the fact that he 1v1 Yoda and won. Like, just let that sink in. He took on the head of the Jedi Council and made him run away. I think people truly underestimate Palpatine's power and don't realize that he is literally just shy of being the Yoda. Now, in this, we are also doing the Star Wars stories because I need watch time. So, we are going to start off with Solo because of chronology. In Solo, I think Tobias Beckett is actually the best character. That may be because Solo is coming up in a future answer, but I also think that Tobias is just a really neat character. He gives Solo a lot of life lessons that are portrayed really well throughout the sequels. Also, he is the reason that Han got his blaster to begin with. So, there's that. I think that overall, Tobias was just a really solid character. He was really well fleshed out, and he kind of carried the entire franchise, the entire movie. And if it wasn't for him, then I don't think Han would be the way we know him and love him today. With Rogue One coming up next, we have K2SO. I think he was just a really cool character. He was a solid character throughout the film. And he was honestly the best in the movie overall. Andor was okay. Jen was the main character, so she obviously had the main character energy. But K2 was just the comic relief. He did the most work. He sacrificed himself just so they could get the Death Star plans. I think that he was the real hero of the movie. And also his snarkiness and just the way he just didn't care really kept his character alive. Personally, I think he was just the best character throughout the entirety of Rogue One. Next up, we have Han Solo in A New Hope. I think he was just a great character overall. He got the guys to the Death Star. He had a very snarky nature. He just didn't care. He was just a really cool character, and also, unlike Luke, he wasn't a whiny brat the entire movie. His snarky and smuggler nature really made him a fun character to watch, and also, yes, he did shoot first. The next one up is what I believe to be the most controversial in this list. I think that Lobot was actually the best character in Empire Strikes Back. I think it was because of his loyalty and the fact that he was just willing to go with anything. He had he was a silent but very intimidating character, and personally he was just a really cool guy. And also you have to give him props because he sacrificed his entire ability to think on his own just because he was loyal to Lando. So yeah, I think Lobot really carried Episode 5. For Episode 6, we have Luke Skywalker himself. This is partially because he is a lot more mature and he's all grown up. I also love his lightsaber design in Episode 6, seeing as it's inspired by Obi-Wan's, as well as the fact that he ends up making tough decisions throughout the entire movie, and ends up turning his father to the light side. Overall, he was an absolutely amazing character come Episode 6, and I really loved the direction that Lucas took him in the franchise. Now on to The Force No Longer Sleeps, or whatever it's called. I never really paid attention to the sequels. Anyway, we have General Hux. I think this character is agreeably one of the best in this movie, and if you look at this one as its own and you don't pay attention to the other two atrocities that are the sequels, then he is an absolutely terrifying character, especially going back to that speech on Starkiller Base. That thing gave me nightmares, and the obvious historical symbolism is very interesting. When it comes to The Last Jedi, there aren't very many characters to think of that are objectively good and worth the best character slot, but I do put Poe Dameron here, because Poe is at least the only one in the movie that has any common sense. He doesn't want to evacuate, and he actually wants to try and save the ship. Also, he has an absolutely ballsy move in the beginning whenever he goes and tries to attack the Dreadnought. Overall, I think he's just the best choice, and like I said, not that there's very many to begin with. On to the 9th and final episode, thank God, we have Jet Troopers. Yes, this movie had no redeemable characters in my opinion, so I gave it to the Jet Trooper. Especially this one. Because if it weren't for this one, then this comment... They fly now! ...would have continued to be just there. This guy at least had the audacity to go ahead and destroy the speeder that they were on, saving us from any more horrendous jokes through the remainder of this scene. Well guys, that about wraps everything up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, please let me know in the comments. With that guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.